The clinic on Varan 9 smelled like sterilized glass and ozone. Rows of softly humming med pods lined the walls, each one glowing with a gentle blue pulse. Outside, the twin suns burned through the hazy atmosphere, casting gold light across the alien city. Inside, Dr. Harrell clicked his mandibles impatiently, his 4 eyes scanning the chart. Species, Terran Canis lupus familiaris, unauthorized life form. Decline request, he said, his translator drone buzzing the words in flat galactic common. Across the counter, a tall, dirt-smudged man in worn fatigues clenched his jaw. His name tag was faded, but the letters R. Miller could still be made out. His arm was wrapped around a limp golden retriever whose fur was matted with dried blood and dust. Decline request, Miller repeated, his voice raw from exhaustion. He's bleeding out. You're a vet, right? Just help him. I am a xenobiological surgeon, Hrell replied, mandibles twitching. We are not authorized to treat non-registered sapients. That creature? His name's Cooper, Miller snapped. He's my partner. We served together on the Delton Ridge front. Regardless, the alien said coolly, Cooper is not recognized by the Galactic Health Registry. My instruments are not calibrated for such a primitive organism. If I attempt treatment and it expires, my license is forfeit. The human looked down at the dog. Cooper's breathing was shallow, his side rising unevenly. Every few seconds, his paw twitched, like he was chasing something in his sleep. Miller's throat tightened. He'd seen soldiers die. He'd seen towns burn. But seeing his partner like this, after everything they'd been through, was too much. He looked up, eyes red. You're supposed to save lives. Doesn't matter the species. Hrell's upper eyes blinked, while the lower pair stayed fixed. You Terrans have strange emotional attachments. I recommend termination to prevent suffering. The words hit like a punch. Miller froze for a moment, then slowly lowered Cooper onto the counter. He stared at the alien doctor, expression unreadable. Then he reached into his duffel bag and pulled out a small battered med kit. Fine, he said quietly. I'll do it myself. Hrell tilted his head. You are not qualified. Miller ignored him, flipping the kit open. The contents were old: bandages, antiseptic spray, a manual injector. He fumbled for the sealant foam, hands shaking slightly from fatigue. Hrell's voice grew sharper. You will kill it. I cannot condone. Miller leaned close to Cooper, pressing his forehead gently against the dog's. His voice softened. Easy, buddy, he whispered. You hang in there, okay? You're gonna be fine. Hrell stopped mid-sentence. For a moment, something alienly familiar passed through the air. The translator drone hummed uncertainly, trying to interpret a word that carried no command, no instruction, no medical relevance, just tone. Miller's hands moved steadily now, cleaning the wound, sealing the worst of it. Cooper whimpered once, then fell silent. The human's voice was calm, reassuring, every word wrapped in care. Good boy. That's it. You're okay. The alien stared. His people had studied thousands of species, but never had he seen one creature soothe another with nothing but tone and presence. No neural sedative, no pheromonal modulation. Just voice. Minutes passed. Miller worked in silence, sweat beading on his brow. He used what little human field medicine he remembered from deployment. He tore a strip from his own sleeve to bind the dressing. When he was done, Cooper's breathing had steadied. Not healed, not safe, but stable. Miller sat back, rubbing his face. You'll be all right, boy. We'll get you home. Hrell approached slowly, scanning the dog with one of his med probes. The readings confused him. The creature's vitals were erratic, but it was fighting, cell by cell, clawing its way back from the brink. Remarkable, Hrell murmured. This organism should not survive such trauma. Miller looked up tiredly. That's just what we do. The alien blinked all four eyes. You mean your species? Miller smiled faintly. Yeah, us, humans. And dogs. We don't quit on each other. For a long moment, neither spoke. Outside, the suns began to dip toward the horizon, painting the clinic walls in amber light. Then Harel did something that shocked even himself. He reached for his instruments and recalibrated them manually, ignoring the system's warnings. Against regulation, he muttered, but I will assist. He injected a stabilizer compound into Cooper's vein. His hands, though alien, were precise and careful. He monitored oxygen saturation, neural impulses, and cardiac rhythm. Miller watched silently, hope flickering in his chest. After an hour, Harel stepped back. It will live, with rest. Miller exhaled hard, shoulders sagging. Thank you. The alien looked at him curiously. You risked punishment for this, creature. You could have let it expire. Miller glanced down at Cooper, who now twitched his tail faintly in sleep. He saved my life more times than I can count. I owed him this. Harel tilted his head. Strange species, you humans. You bleed for those who cannot repay you. Miller chuckled softly. Yeah, well, that's kind of our thing. The alien watched him for a long time, something shifting in his expression. A quiet respect, maybe even awe. Days later, word spread across Varan 9. The story of the Terran who defied the alien vet's refusal and saved his companion reached the medical council, the spaceport bars, even the military command. Some laughed at the sentimentality. Others, those who'd fought beside humans, just nodded knowingly. They understood, because it wasn't about the dog, not really. It was about what humans did when everyone else walked away. It was about the way they whispered, "Easy, buddy," and made the impossible happen. Not through superior tech or laws or biology, but through something raw and stubborn and undeniably human. Weeks later, Harel saw them again. The man and his dog, both scarred but standing tall. Cooper barked once when he entered the clinic, tail wagging. Harel almost smiled. Miller grinned. Told you he'd pull through? Yes, Harel said thoughtfully. I underestimated you Terrans. Everyone does, Miller replied with a wink. As they left, the alien watched the pair disappear down the street, backlit by the setting suns. He found himself repeating the strange phrase under his breath, rolling the sounds awkwardly through his mandibles. Easy, buddy! The translator didn't translate. It didn't have to. It was the sound of compassion without reason, loyalty without logic. And somewhere deep inside, Dr. Harel felt something shift. A spark of understanding. A recognition that maybe, just maybe, the galaxy still had a lot to learn from the species that whispered to dying animals and made them fight to live again. The end.